What happens when a pope visits a country that holds a vibrantly unique voice in the global church, yet carries the deep legacy of colonial exploitation? Today, in episode 12 of our Cardinal-to-be series, we are journeying to Equatorial Guinea to look at Archbishop Juan Nsue Edjang Mayé and exploring why a recent papal visit could lead to a historically profound red hat. Hi, I'm Leander. Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome back. If you appreciate a warm, fear-free approach to understanding the structures and the future leadership of our church, I'd love for you to join our growing community by subscribing. We are building a space to explore our faith with courage and insight. Let's dive right into this week's analysis. To fully grasp the significance of Archbishop Mayé's leadership, we first need to understand the unique context of his diocese. He's the Archbishop of Malabo in Equatorial Guinea, the only Spanish-speaking country in Africa. This reality is the direct result of a history under Spanish colonial rule, a legacy of extraction that profoundly impacted the nation. Today, as the sole metropolitan archbishop in the entire country, his voice carries not just the spiritual hopes of his flock, but the deep resilience of a people whose strength and culture are essential to the universal church. But here's a beautiful detail about his pastoral journey that shows us his true approach to leadership. Long before stepping into the prominent role of Archbishop of Malabo, he served as the Bishop of Ep.12, a diocese located right on the borders where Equatorial Guinea meets Cameroon and Gabon. Ministry in these border regions requires a profound ability to build communion across cultural and geographical lines. He learned leadership on the frontiers, walking alongside people whose everyday realities demand practical, grounded faith. So let's look at the macro. Why do I believe Archbishop Mayé will receive a red hat in Pope Leo XIV's first consistory? For centuries, European powers looked at this region through the lens of extraction. But Pope Francis established a powerful precedent of elevating shepherds from the places he visited, treating those communities not as peripheries, but as the center. With Pope Leo XIV having recently completed a visit to Equatorial Guinea, elevating its only archbishop sends a clear, structural message. The universal church is a communion of equals, enriched by every culture. Now, the micro. This is what true synodality looks like in action. Giving Archbishop Mayé a red hat brings the lived wisdom of Equatorial Guinea directly into Roman decision-making. For the local faithful in Malabo, it structurally affirms what has always been spiritually true. Your history is honored and your contribution to the church is indispensable. So, what does a potential cardinal from Equatorial Guinea mean for you in your local parish? Archbishop Mayé's story reminds us that true communion requires actively making space for voices that have historically been sidelined. In our own parishes, it is incredibly easy to let the most established voices steer the ship. True collegiality challenges us to recognize that our communities are incomplete without the wisdom of those who are often left out of the conversation. Elevating Archbishop Mayé would be a masterclass in synodal leadership, proving that every local church has something vital to teach the rest of the world. I'm curious, as always, to hear your reflections. How can our local parishes do a better job of ensuring that historically sidelined voices are recognized as essential to our community? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm really looking forward to reading your insights and joining the conversation. Stay collegial, stay fear-free. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!